Gout Gout just ran 10.00 seconds to open his 2026 season. He is only 17 years old. That time is already the fastest legal sprint in Australia this year.
We've got a clean start, very close with Whistle and Luban on the inside, then Camagelli in 3, Gout in lane 1. Here they come with 50 to go, it's getting closer and closer. Gout's going to take it from Payer's Whistle.
Then he shocked everyone by skipping the Commonwealth Games. Why would the fastest teen in the country walk away from a major championship right now? That is not normal for a teenager. That is not even common for senior professionals. A season opener is usually about rhythm and timing. It is about shaking off nerves. Instead, Gout turned it into a headline. The plus 0.9 wind matters. Anything under plus 2.0 counts as legal for record purposes. There is no asterisk beside this mark. There is no debate about tailwind help. The numbers stand on their own. 10.00. Legal. Historic for home soil. The moment the clock stopped, the reaction was instant. Coaches looked at each other. Fans stared at the scoreboard. Social media lit up within minutes.
Well, Gout Gout has stunned the athletic world, once more clocking the equal fastest 100-metre run by an Australian on home soil.
This was not just another junior race result. This was a national-level performance delivered by a high school-aged athlete. It is important to understand what 10.00 really means at 17. Many senior sprinters train for years and never break that barrier. It requires explosive acceleration, efficient mechanics, and the ability to stay relaxed at top speed. The margin between 10.05 and 10.00 is massive in sprinting terms. Dropping those final hundredths demands precision. Gout's race showed that precision. His reaction out of the blocks was sharp. His first 10 meters were powerful without looking forced. By the halfway mark, he was upright and balanced. There was no visible tightening in the final 30 meters. He crossed the line composed, not straining wildly for the clock. This is why the performance carries weight. It did not look accidental. It looked controlled. For years, Gout has been labeled as the most hyped young sprinter on the planet. That label brings pressure. Every race becomes a test of whether the hype matches reality. On February 19th, the hype did not just survive. It grew stronger. But the time itself was only part of the story. The bigger shock came from a decision made off the track. Gout Gout will not compete at the 2026 Commonwealth Games. When that news broke, the athletics world split into two camps. Some fans felt disappointed. The Commonwealth Games is a major multi-sport event. It carries history and national pride. Many Australian athletes dream of representing their country on that stage. Instead, Gout and his team chose a different target. They are aiming for the World Athletics U20 Championships in Eugene, Oregon. The timing explains the strategy. The World U20 Championships begin on August 5th. The Commonwealth Games closed just 3 days earlier. Competing in both would require travel, recovery, and peak performance within a tiny window. For a developing 17-year-old body, that schedule is risky. So they chose one goal: win the World Junior title. That decision sparked debate immediately. Is he being protected from senior competition, or is this smart long-term planning? To answer that, look at the calendar. Gout is still eligible for U20 competition. That window will not last forever. Senior championships will come for the rest of his career. But a global junior title is a chance that exists only once within the age bracket. Choosing Eugene signals intent. It says that the team wants a world crown at his level before stepping fully into senior battles. Eugene is not just another location. Hayward Field is known around the world as a home of track and field. The crowd understands sprinting. The stadium carries history. Winning there carries global recognition. If Gout lines up in August as the fastest junior in the world, the pressure will be enormous. A 10.00 in February suggests he could enter the championship as the clear favorite. That changes everything. He would not just be a talented outsider, he would be the athlete everyone else is chasing. The comparison that keeps surfacing is to Usain Bolt. Anytime a teenager runs times close to 10 seconds, Bolt's name appears. At 17, Bolt was a phenom in the 200 meters, but he was not yet running 10.00 in the 100. That fact fuels the conversation. It does not mean Gout will become Bolt. Sprint history is full of young stars who did not become senior legends. Development depends on health, coaching, strength growth, and mental balance. But the raw numbers are real. A legal 10.00 at 17 places him ahead of Bolt's 100-meter progression at the same age. That statistic alone guarantees attention. Experts break down his mechanics frame by frame. His stride frequency does not collapse under fatigue. His head remains steady. His arm carriage stays tight. These are signs of advanced training. They suggest he is not just fast, but technically refined. Another key factor is composure. After crossing the line in 10.00, there was no wild celebration. He did not collapse on the track. He did not stare at the clock in disbelief. He reacted like an athlete who expected to run fast. That quiet confidence may matter as much as raw speed. Still, the Commonwealth Games debate refuses to fade. Some argue that facing senior athletes would accelerate his growth. Racing against experienced sprinters teaches tactical patience. It builds toughness under pressure. Skipping that opportunity could delay exposure to elite senior rounds. Others counter that development at 17 must be measured. The body is still maturing. Heavy championship schedules can increase injury risk. Sprinting at maximum velocity stresses muscles and tendons intensely. Managing load is crucial. From a strategic viewpoint, focusing on one peak in August makes sense. Training cycles can be structured clearly. There is one target, one taper, one championship. But sport is emotional. Fans wanted to see him race on a major multi-sport stage. They wanted to see the teenager challenge older stars. That storyline will now wait. What cannot wait is expectation. With a 10.00 already on the board, every race leading to August will be examined closely. If he runs 10.07 next month, critics will question consistency. If he dips under 10.00 with legal wind, the global conversation will explode. He has crossed a psychological barrier. 10 seconds is more than a number. It separates elite from hopeful. Once you touch it, people expect you to stay there. Managing that expectation is part of the journey. Training between February and August will likely focus on refining start reaction, strengthening top speed endurance, and maintaining health. The difference between 10.00 and 9.95 often comes from the final 20 meters. Staying relaxed at maximum velocity is the key. Championship racing adds another layer. At the World U20 Championships, he will have to navigate heats and semifinals before a final. Running multiple high-quality races within days tests recovery and focus. A fast open meet is one thing. Winning rounds is another. If he wins in Eugene, the narrative shifts dramatically. He would leave the junior ranks as a world champion with a 10.00 season opener on record. That combination builds aura. If he loses, the debate about skipping the Commonwealth Games will return instantly. Critics will say he avoided senior competition and still did not secure junior gold. That is the risk of bold planning. For Australia, this moment feels larger than one athlete. The nation has produced strong middle-distance runners and field event stars. Sprinting dominance has been less common. A 17-year-old matching the fastest legal time ever run at home suggests a shift in development. Young athletes across the country now have a visible example. The barrier does not feel unreachable anymore. When someone your age runs 10.00, belief spreads. Belief changes participation. Participation changes depth. Depth builds future champions. But none of that is guaranteed. Sprinting careers are fragile. A slight muscle strain can derail months of preparation. Growth spurts can affect coordination. Mental fatigue can creep in with constant attention. That is why the February 19 performance matters beyond the stopwatch. It showed balance. It showed preparation. It showed that the hype has structure behind it. As the season moves forward, one fact remains simple. On February 19, 2026, a 17-year-old Australian ran 10.00 with legal wind and equaled the fastest wind legal 100 meters ever recorded on his home soil. He then made a decision that shaped the entire year. No Commonwealth Games. Full focus on Eugene. Full focus on a World Junior title. The track world is now counting down to August 5th, because when the gun fires at Hayward Field, it will not just be another youth race. It will be the next checkpoint in a career already moving at historic speed. The clock has started, and after opening his season in 10.00 seconds, the question is no longer whether Gout Gout is fast. The question is how far he can take it before the rest of the world catches up.